What is up, Man Hour Nation? It is NFL time. 2023 season is officially here. But it is time for some live, raw, and uncut sports talk here on this Thursday edition. Chiefs versus Lions. Let's go, baby. Get those fantasy lineups set. But first,
and now, Mike's thoughts.
Woo! As shit gets deeper and shit gets deeper and shit gets deeper in Denver, my man Sean Payton says, Russell Wilson, stop kissing those damn babies. You're not running for no office. Basically, guys, Sean Payton is not happy with Russell Wilson, Inc. Russell, Inc. Team 3. He says, stop kissing those damn babies. I'm sick and tired of it. Get your shit out of here and play some effing football, baby. Guys, this Sean Payton, Russell Wilson marriage might be getting a divorce before it even starts, my man. Oh my God, when you see stuff like this, you're like, holy crap, what is going on? But ever since Sean Payton has come into Denver, he has been making some waves, baby. He says, Team 3, get your ass out of here. Coaching staff before, get your ass out of here. You suck, you suck, you stuck, and you stop kissing babies or you're going to get your ass out of here ASAP. Guys, let me ask you this question right off the bat. Is Sean Payton making too many waves too early in Denver? People are saying right off the bat, well, he's always 2-3 steps ahead. He's a mastermind. He knows what he's doing. Does he? You have a $250 million quarterback. You're telling him to stop kissing babies? What's the big deal? I don't know, guys. I don't know what the big deal is. I really don't care. But at the end of the day, Sean Payton is the man. Russell Wilson, you are on a short leash, my man. You better figure yourself out really, really quick, or otherwise, the Denver Broncos are doomed for failure. Oh, what a surprise. I'm kidding. Denver Broncos, you guys will still be a 5-win team. Don't get it twisted. But Sean Payton is not happy with Russell Wilson. Stop kissing those damn babies, baby. Stop kissing those babies, Russ. We don't want you to give you them herpes or whatever you got with chlamydia Sierra. I'm kidding. Cue that intro.
You don't want to be every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckosher here with the Man Hour. Be sure to head over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, or check out the blog section as well. Good things are happening over there at manhourradio.com. And if you're going to miss any part of the show today whatsoever, simply head over there, click the listen button, and directly after when this show ends, the live show ends, I will put the podcast form up there on the website. Live, raw, uncut sports talk on Spotify, on iHeart, and of course, Spreaker.com. But head over to manhourradio.com, click on the listen button, and it is there, it is there, it is there, it is there. Guys, we officially have our memberships back right here on YouTube.com and, of course, Facebook.com. For $4.99 a month, guys, you can help support the Man Hour brand, and you guys get before the show footage. I go live about 20, 30 minutes before the show and show you guys what, like, basically my setup, my messy desk that I got right here. We go over some notes, and I basically let you guys pick what you want to have on the show. But, like, hey, you know, spitting facts today, it is kind of a toss-up. Do I want to talk about Super Bowl rings? Do I want to talk about how bad the Buffalo Bills are? What do you guys want to hear about today? But the only way you can get into that is to subscribe to the Facebook page or become a member over here at youtube.com. We do go about live 15 to 20 or 30 minutes, depending on my time strength, before each show moving forward. So, guys, help support the brand, subscribe, become a member. But if you don't want to do any of that, you can simply help support the brand by hitting the like button right now. So hit that like button, hit the share button, and of course, let me know if you are in the comments below. A live interactive show. I see all the comments throw screw right here on my right-hand side of my screen. It shows me your name. It shows me where you commented from, Facebook or YouTube, yada, yada, yada. It does not matter. But guys, it is week 1 of the NFL season. It is here. We are less than 12 hours away. The Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs, opening Thursday night game, and we are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Travis Kelce, his impact. We got to talk about the Detroit Lions' shitty-ass defense. Cooper Kupp is out. Nick Bosa gets those dollar bills. Yo! But first, we got to slow it down, baby! We got to slow it down and get into the new news of the day. So, guys, across the NFL landscape, Wednesdays are a very practice-heavy day. This is the install day. This is the tweaking of the scouting report. It's like, oh, this play might work. This play may not work. They're out there. They're figuring it out. And also a lot of injuries and limitations come out through those Wednesday practices as well. And it starts with the Arizona Cardinals and Mr. Hollywood Brown. Marquise Brown was limited in practice Wednesday for the Arizona Cardinals. And this is huge because Zach Ertz is also limited. Rondale Moore was also limited. Pretty much everybody that is a star player on the Arizona Cardinals was limited in Wednesday practice. And Josh Dobbs has officially been named starter, kind of. So what in the world is going on in Arizona? I'm so confused. How is everybody injured? But whatever. We digress from that. Falcons running back Cordell Patterson was also limited in practice on Wednesday. If you guys remember, Cordell Patterson was basically held out the final 2 preseason games of the preseason with some hamstring issues, and limited in practice on a Wednesday when you're basically fighting for time, fighting for some carries with Benjamin Robertson there. Cordell Patterson it's looking like this might be his last season, unfortunately. Ravens tight end Mark Andrews was limited in practice on Wednesday, but should be good to go for Sunday per Coach Harbaugh. As you guys know, Mark Andrews is a very good tight end. And Lamar Jackson is a very trash-ass quarterback. He needs his tight end. He needs Mark Andrews to be healthy for them to even have a chance on Sunday. Bills safety Micah Hyde missed practice with back issues. Guys, this is big news for the Buffalo Bills fans because Monday is a huge game for them. They're playing the New York Football Giants, and it is time to smack those big, mean, green people in the mouth, shut them up. And Micah Hyde not practicing and possibly missing the game with some back issues, that is big. They cannot afford to miss Micah Hyde in this game. Hopefully he gets better. Cleveland Browns safety Juan Thornhill missed practice with the calf issue. Cleveland Browns need some Juan Thornhill, one of the most prolific cornerback safeties in the game. Went from the Kansas City Chiefs. They stole him, but whatever. We I guess. He's out. Calf injury. Oh, man. Colts running back issues. Indianapolis Colts running back Zach Moss returned to practice after his broken arm. Got some pins, got a little bone metal in there, yada, but he's still on the PUP list. He will miss 4 games, but he is back at practice. That is good news for the Indianapolis Colts. So they don't have running back right now. Hall? Who the hell is Hall? running back committee. But Arthur Brown, your Miami Dolphins wide receiver Jalen Waddle, did not practice on Wednesday with an oblique issue. He says, "Oh, my oblique hurts. My abs are not ripped quite enough." But this is big news, guys, because he's been kind of battling this oblique injury for a while now. It seems like pretty much all training camp he has had some type of abdominal oblique issue. So I'm curious of like what exactly is going on there. Is he just eating some bad sushi, or like what is really going on? Is Jalen Waddle the one player that the Miami Dolphins cannot afford to lose this season? Yes, they got Tyreek Hill and Braxton Berrios and some 50-year-old running back, right, and Tua. But I think Jalen Waddle is their X factor. That is one player that the Miami Dolphins, I feel, that cannot lose is Jalen Waddle. But he did miss practice on Wednesday with that oblique injury. So hopefully for you guys as Miami Dolphins fans, he gets better. But if you're a Miami Dolphins hater, I guess you can wish ill will on a guy. I'm not that type of person. We don't do that here. If I see that in the chat, you are out. Time out. Time out, time out, time out. But, guys, that is it for the new news across the field. The lead block is out of the way, and it is time for some meat and potatoes. It is time to talk a little bit about it. If and then. Here on Thursday, guys, we have a beautiful segment called Hypotheses Thursdays. Let's take us back to 6th grade, 5th grade science fair, whenever you did science. And you had a question, you had a hypothesis, you got them your materials, and you got your conclusion, and you got your results, and bada bing, bada boom. This is what it is all about. With that being said, if and then Thursday is here. So, guys, we put an if statement out there, and then I follow up with a then. If David pops in the chat, then he is going to talk about his Chargers. 100% facts. And the results are David does talk about his Chargers, or a Charger. You don't care about their roster. I'm kind of confused of what you're saying there, David. If you can elaborate a little bit, I would love to talk about your Los Angeles Chargers. I would love to talk about one of the best rosters in the NFL on paper. I would love to talk about how great your defense should be, but how sucky they really are. I would love to talk about that. So if you can elaborate that a little bit, bada bing, bada boom, we can talk about it. He says they're preparing for Miami. Yes, the Chargers do play Miami week 1. So if Jalen Waddle is out, the Chargers do have a really good shot. Really good shot of winning that particular game. But, guys, let's get into this. But first, guys, it is Thursday. And I know it's new here. Everything's kind of new. But be sure to set your fantasy lineups. Fantasy lineups are due today. You are going to miss a lot of big name players if you do not set your lineup right now. So, as soon as the show is over, I want you to go to your ESPN app. I want you to go to your Yahoo. I want you to go to your NFL app, NFL.com app. Whatever app you do, set your fantasy lineup. Do not sleep on your fantasy teams this year, guys. Do not let them go to auto pick. Don't do it. I fell asleep during our draft and I had auto draft. I feel like a piece of shit, but it is what it is. But guys, it is time for a little bit of if and then a little bit of then, and we are going to start with the game of the day, the topic of the day, and that is the Detroit Lions versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, some big news has been coming out of Kansas City. Chris Jones wants a pay raise, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But the most important thing that we need to talk about is Travis freaking Kelce. Travis Kelce hyperextended his knee on Monday during practice. MRI showed that all of the ligaments were intact. The ACL was good. It is simply just a bone bruise, allegedly. All reports are that he is questionable for tonight's game and probably will not play. So right now, rumors have he's about 50% and possibly 70% come game time. I don't know how you figure that out, but it is what it is. But we have to ask this question. If Travis Kelce does play tonight, then what? Then what? If Travis Kelce plays tonight, that tells me he has at least 90%. Andy Reid is a very smart, very, very good NFL head coach. Every week 17, week 18, when things are lined up, locked up in the playoffs, he sits those starters. He sits the key players. He's like, no, you're not going to play. We have the bigger goals to worry about. Andy Reid is a looking forward head type of guy. Guys, the Kansas City Chiefs have Super Bowl aspirations this year. Really, truly Super Bowl aspirations. Yes, every team to say we want to win a Super Bowl, yada, yada, yada. But let's just be honest. When you say this team can win a Super Bowl, this team can win a Super Bowl, this team, now the Kansas City Chiefs are at the top of your list. The Kansas City Chiefs can win a Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs will win a Super Bowl. Kansas City Chiefs will be in the AFC Championship game. That is just the way it is. So if Travis Kelce does play tonight, that tells him that he is 100%. He is good to go. He will not be limited in any way, shape, or form because the Kansas City Chiefs are playing the long game. Kansas City Chiefs are a very smart organization. Travis Kelce is a very smart individual, right? Who cares about week one? Yes, it is a big hype game. Detroit Lions have been hyping this up, yada, yada, yada. The only reason why the Lions are in the news are because my Kansas City Chiefs. Let's just be honest. That is the only reason why they are in the news, because they're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. With that being said, the Chiefs have 16 more games. 17, 18, 19, 20 more games. They have a very long season ahead of them. Everything is not banked on week one. So if Travis Kelce does play tonight, he will be 100%. He will be good to go. No limitations whatsoever, and the Detroit Lions are in trouble because he will be healthy. Now, if he is not healthy, he will not play because everything that I just said, the Chiefs are a part of the long game. Because if Travis Kelce is not 100%, let's say Travis Kelce comes out there 70%, and he is compromised. He is kind of limping around and kind of favoring that knee a little bit. More injuries may occur. You put your risk of the whole season being over because you're not 100%. Kansas City Chiefs are not that stupid. He will be fine moving forward, but he shouldn't play tonight at all. John Peebles is in the chat. What is up, John? He says, good morning, baby. Good day, good day, good day. He's predicting Lions 31, the Kansas City Chiefs 28. Guys, if you are in the chat right now, let me know a score prediction of tonight. Lions versus Chiefs. John says Lions 31, Chiefs 28. So the last I checked, it was less than a 4-point spread, right? With Travis Kelce going out, it dropped like 3 full points like that. They're like, oh, shit, the Lions might have a legitimate chance. Right? They might have a legitimate chance, right? So when we bring this up, right, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. We have to talk about the little bit of meat and potatoes of what is going on really in this football game. The Kansas City Chiefs are in a lose-lose situation, right? If they beat the Detroit Lions tonight, well, you're supposed to beat the Detroit Lions, yada, yada, yada. If you lose to the Detroit Lions, well, how did you lose to Detroit? Lose to the Detroit Lions. You're supposed to be Super Bowl champions, yada, yada, yada. So I want to talk about the Detroit Lions. Obviously, right now, this is their freaking Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions all offseason have been hyped up. Oh, they're the Super Bowl favorites in the NFC. They're going to win the North. They're loaded. They're explosive. They're this, they're that, whatever, right? Guys, let's look at the last 10 games of the Detroit Lions season last year. Yes, they went 8-2. Yes, they had a high-flying offense. Yes, they looked great on the field. They had the worst defense those 10 games. The worst defense in the NFL of 5 of 7 stat categories that matter. 5 of 7, they were that bad. Now, yes, I know this offseason, who they had? They had Brian Branch, Cam Sutton, C.J. Garner-Johnson. I get it. They added some parts. They added some pieces. They're hungry, but that defense sucks. The Detroit Lions had the worst defense in the NFL last 10 games of the season. 5 of 7 categories. Now, it's a full 17-game season, yada, yada, yada. Well, let's do the full 17-game seasons. They were the worst defense 6 of the 7 categories. They got worse. I'm trying to pump you guys up a little bit. But let me ask you guys this. If the Detroit Lions have the worst defense in the NFL again this season, then what? Guys, the Detroit Lions cannot afford to have a bad defense this season. Yes, they do got a high-powered offense per se. I'm not for sure where the firepower comes from. Ahmad St. Brown obviously had a explosive season last year. People don't realize that. I'm like, hey, shut this guy down for 6 games. Jameson Williams, like, you're not playing forever because you're going to be gambling again anyways, or ACL tear or something. You're never going to be on the field. The Lions offense will be there. I love me some Jamar Gibbs, right? I do love me some Jared Goff. I as I talk down on St. Brown, he is a really good receiver, right? But if the Detroit Lions have the worst defense in the NFL again this season, it is going to be a long season for the Detroit Lions. You cannot win a lot of games by scoring a lot of points. Yes, regular season you can go 13-4, whatever, right? The Baltimore Ravens, 13-4 all the time, right? But once postseason comes and your offense gets shut down, then what? You are a pile of shitheads. Guys, the Detroit Lions have to have a better defense. The Detroit Lions have to have a top 10 defense this season to win what they want to win this season. If they don't, they will be utter disappointment all season long, and I can see it now. Luke G is going to be, oh, my Detroit Lions suck again. Oh, man, give me some ketchup. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. What up? Judas Howard is in the chat. He says Lions 34-24 with the upset. Go Lions. So let me ask you guys this question. Now, obviously, Vegas has the Kansas City Chiefs has a 4-point favorite, right? 4-point favorite. Like, you can talk bad about Vegas all you want, but it's a 4-point favorite for the Kansas City Chiefs. So in theory, if the Lions do win, it would be an upset, right? But all season long, off season, I should say, the Detroit Lions have been put up on this pedestal. Kings of the North, NFC champions. I myself did it. I said the Packers will win the North, but the Lions are going to make some noise in the playoffs. The Lions are going to do some work in the playoffs. NFC championship is not out of reach. I am guilty of putting them up on the pedestal as well. But with that being said, if the Lions do beat the Kansas City Chiefs tonight, and it is a 34-10 upset win, or a 10-point win, I should say. Take the word upset out. 10-point win. Would it be considered an upset? Because the Chiefs are without Travis Kelce. The Chiefs are without Chris Jones. They are without, whoever else is, what's his name? Snead. Snead might be out as well. Would it be really considered an upset, even if those guys were in there? Let's say Travis Kelce was healthy. Chris Jones does play. Snead does play. And the Lions do win 34-24. Can we really say it was an upset because it's week 1? We don't really know what week 1 of the NFL season is going to bring. New coordinators, new players, new pieces, new season, older players, younger players. Yes, we see paper. We can judge it by the preseason and OTAs. We can judge it by last year as well. But let's just be honest, week 1 is a totally different season, brand new. Would it be considered an upset? Let me ask you guys this. If the Lions win tonight, is it an upset? Simply asking a question. Kevin says Lions buys 3. They very good possibility, Kevin. Very good possibility they could win by 3. I don't see it happening, but very good possibility. John says, gotta have parsley with that filet mignon meal and cook the Chiefs this year. The year of the roar. Listen, I love me some Dan Campbell. If I was able to play football still at a level that I once did, I would be on that Detroit Lions field running through a wall for $10 a game for Dan Campbell. I love me some Dan Campbell. Watching Hard Knocks last season gave me goosebumps. I'm like, man, I want to go play for this guy. Obviously, I'm too old and out of shape and haven't put on pads for like 6 years, right? Well past my prime. But yes, I as much as I'm talking down on the Lions right now, I do think that they will have a successful season. I do not think that they will win the North, but I do think that they will make it into the playoffs, and I think they will win a playoff game or 2, possibly 3. I actually have them in the NFC Championship game versus the Dallas Cowboys. We'll see what happens. Kevin says, put up on a pedestal. You're a Chiefs fan. You would be the expert, I guess. Are you saying that we've been putting the Chiefs up on the pedestal for the last 6 seasons? Come on, man. Legitimately. The Detroit Lions have been put up on this pedestal this offseason. Let's just be flat out honest about it. They went 8-2 to end the season last year. Last 10 games season, they had a nice little run. 8 wins, 2 losses in the last 10. Very nice little run. I'm not taking that away from them whatsoever. However, the schedule got pretty freaking easy. Ugh. But let's not talk about that. But yes, all offseason, the Detroit Lions have been put up on this pedestal. You can say that they haven't, but look across the NFL landscape. People are loving them some Detroit Lions. They're putting them up on this pedestal and they haven't done shit. 8 wins last season, awesome. Possible playoff run. The Seahawks had to lose or something and they had to beat the Packers and they held up their end of the deal, but the Seahawks just decided, like, you know what, F you guys. I get it. Still had a losing season last year. Still were not very good. Weakest slate of games the last 10 games too. I don't know. Kevin says week 1 is like preseason week 4. Starters work out the kinks. Absolutely right. So honestly, preseason is good for people like players that are like trying to make a roster, right? Players like Jack Campbell for the Detroit Lions may not practice very, 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 very well, but get him on the field. This guy's a man, the myth, legend. Love me some Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell could be the rookie of the year, guys. Look out for that guy. Linebacker for the Detroit Lions. But with that being said, defenses always excel the first 3-4 weeks of the season. Defense comes around a lot faster than offense. Offense is all about timing, is all about hand gestures, it's all about that look like I know what you want to do, right? So yes, it is working out the kinks. Week 1, week 2, week 3 is working out the kinks. Defense wins a lot of these games the first 3 weeks of the season. I will give you that. How about the Detroit Lions? How about he wear a Detroit Lions jerseys if they win? You know what? I will buy a Detroit Lions jersey if they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And when it comes in, I will wear it on the show for a solid week. I will give you that, John. I will give you that. But it has to be a Gibbs or a Jared Goff jersey. I don't want to wear Williams or anybody like that. Goff or Gibbs. I think Gibbs is going to be really, really, really good. But yeah, I will definitely wear a jersey if the Detroit Lions win. Well, I guess I said when they win, right? When they win. Yes, Kevin says, it is still an upset. Chiefs are reigning Super Bowl champions, and according to everybody and their mother, the Lions are the Lions. Yes, it is kind of like, what have you done for me lately, right? The Chiefs are the reigning Super Bowl champs, and the Lions have been doing lion things, I guess, right? I actually said this offseason, like, I thought the Lions were afraid to win when they traded DeAndre Swift, when they let Williams walk, Jamal, right? And then they cut some receivers and some quarterbacks. I'm like, man, these guys are afraid to win. You had every part and piece. All you had to do is add a little bit of piece of this, piece of there. But I may have been wrong. But I thought this offseason the Lions were doing Lions things. I thought they were afraid to win. But we will see. We will see, Kevin. Kevin also says Jets, Dolphins, they haven't done shit yet. Look what they're saying about them. So this is the difference between the Jets and the Dolphins, right? So first of all, I am not hyping the Jets up at all. I think the Jets are a 7-win team this season. I think the ticking time bomb for the New York Jets is already there. I think they are going to self-implode come week 5, and we are literally going to see everything collapse inside of them, and they might win 3 games total. Now, the reason for the hype for the Miami Dolphins is because they did make the playoffs last season. They also did take the Buffalo Bills to 3 points in a wildcard game with a third-string quarterback and their leading receiver in the NFL with 69 total yards. He still only lose by 3 points to the Buffalo Bills. Bills Mafia, pump those chests. What? So yes, the hype around the Dolphins is kind of real. They lived up to it last season. Yes, it was a very roller coaster of a ride. We'll see if the roller coaster of the ride continues for the Miami Dolphins. But yes, I am not hyping up the Jets. Other people are. Other people are hyping up the Jets. There is a Silva person in our Facebook chat all the time. My Jets are going to the Super Bowl. Slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. Arthur Brown finally with the realistic score. He gets Kansas City Chiefs 24, Lions 13. I do like the low-scoring slugfest kind of a game. I think it is going to be a really low-scoring game, honestly. I'm talking like maybe 30 total points, maybe a 17-10, 24-13 type of score, right? And whoever wins is going to score a late touchdown to kind of seal it away to kind of make it look like a blowout, a 10-point win. But yes, I do like the 24-13 score. Of course, Kansas City Chiefs on top. Because they finally have somebody with NFL IQ as a head coach. Yes, the Detroit Lions. Dan Campbell is a really good coach. He has football. He has common sense. He has common sense. Like, I cannot implement somebody else's ways and bring it in here, and I'm a shit-ass head coach. I'm going to do me. I'm going to have fun. I'm referring to Matt Patricia. Matt Patricia tried to bring the Detroit or bring in the New England Patriot way into Detroit, and he had no backing. He had no foundation. He had no validity of anything that he was trying to do. He was trying to be an iron fist sergeant, and he was a piece of shit. Like, come on. Just be yourself. That's why Josh McDaniels fails in the NFL as a head coach. He tries to implement other people's ways, and it's don't buy into it. People don't buy into it. No, they do not. Oh, good point, Kevin. No Hutchinson or St. Brown jersey. St. Brown jersey, no. I do like me some Adrian Hutchinson. I actually work with a guy that went to high school with Adrian Hutchinson, so that would be cool. I would rock a Adrian Hutchinson jersey. Junis Howard says, of course it is an upset. To beat the reigning Super Bowl champions, the Lions? Okay, I mean, yes, it is reigning Super Bowl champions, but I'm just not for sure if it is a upset. I'm not for sure. But I see your point. It's a very valid point. And I mean, if we're looking for three reasons why it would be an upset, reigning Super Bowl champs, favorites to win, 4.4 favorite, right? Or sorry, 4.5 favorite now. And the third, like the Lions being the Lions. So yeah, I mean, I guess you guys are right. It would be an upset. Kevin talking about the Buffalo Bills here. Third string cornerback. Bills defensive backups were all backups, but Trey White, who was coming off an injury that had him sidelined for a year, our defense had hardly any starters on the field. LOL. Excuses. I'm kidding, but yeah. And also, wasn't Micah Hyde out that game as well? I'm pretty sure. Like, he got hurt like the week before or something like that. I'm not for sure. John People says, Dalvin Cook and 3 receivers to boot. I think a 9-8 season or 10-7 for the Jets. So the Jets are going to be a very wild card team. Let's talk a little bit about the New York Jets here. So I have been deemed a Jets hater. I want to put that out on the table right now. Before we get too carried away, I have been deemed a Jets hater because I've been talking realistically, right? They brought in an over-the-hill that had his worst season ever in Aaron Rodgers. They brought in a receiver, Randall Cobb. Man, his eyes are kind of scary. That has not had a successful season in 10 years, right? And yes, Alan Lazard is up and coming. Garrett Wilson is up and coming, right? Like, I get it. Defense is not going to be the 85 Bears as much as Sauce Gardner wants to say. They're not going to be the 85 Bears, but they'll have a very good defense. What we don't understand about the New York Jets, what people are failing to understand about the New York Jets, is their schedule is very, very, very tough. The first 6 weeks of the season. They could easily start the season off 2-4. Their easiest game is they travel to Mile High and play the Denver Broncos. Yes, it's the Denver Broncos, whatever, right? It's still at Mile High. Mile High Stadium is a very, very tough place to play. So with that being said, if the Jets do start 2-4 or whatever, we said it on the after show a couple days ago, Aaron Rodgers will be like the Matrix, dodging all these bullets, and it is going to be everybody else's fault but Aaron Rodgers. But people are like, whoa, Aaron, you're supposed to be our Hall of Famer quarterback. You're supposed to be leading this, and this. And once Aaron Rodgers starts deflecting the blame, starts dodging those bullets, the Jets are going to self implode. Like I've been saying, it is a very tough media in New York. There's a lot of pressure in New York right now. They are talking about Super Bowl and they haven't even played a snap yet. Yes, they were a 7-10 team last season. Not very good. Mike White, Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson. Don't know who the quarterback was. Yes, they had a defense rookie of the year. Yes, they had an offensive rookie of the year. They had all that, right? But this year, schedule got a little bit harder. Bullseye got a hell of a lot bigger. Every team wants to knock the Jets down. The Denver Broncos want to knock the Jets down. The Kansas City Chiefs want to be like, AFC is still ours. The Minnesota Vikings want to smack Aaron Rodgers in the mouth over and over and over again. The Raiders, they want to smack Aaron Rodgers in the mouth over and over and over again. Guys, the Jets have a big bullseye on their back, and they cannot take a week off. And it is going to wear on this team. So that's why I think 9-8 is a very plausible thing. 9-8 is very, very plausible. 7-10, I think, is even more plausible, John. I am not liking the Jets right now, unfortunately. Now, the Miami Dolphins. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I got a little bit of labba in there. Now you say the Dolphins going 10-7. Very, very real possibility. Because everything of the Miami Dolphins this season ultimately lies on the quarterback's shoulders. And as Tua is very, very injury prone, he's put on some weight this year to take those hits. We're not going to call him fat because we got to keep his name out your mouth. But like the Jets, the Dolphins kind of have a tough slate of games. I am looking at this slate of games from week 4 on to about week 9. They play the Buffalo Bills, Giants, Panthers, a very improved Panthers team, the Eagles, the Patriots, Chiefs, Raiders, and the Jets. That right there is going to make or break their season. Last season, they started hot, got really bad, got hot, got really, really bad. I feel this season they start at the Chargers, start at the Patriots, and they play the Broncos and Bills, right? Very easily could go 2-2 there. But once that Bills game's hit, and if they start going like this, the wheels are going to fall off that wagon really, really quick. And I'm not for sure if they can pull that plane back up a little bit. And it doesn't get easier beyond that. The Commanders, you can say what you want about the Commanders. They're still not bad. The Titans, nah. Then you play the Jets, whatever, right? But then you got the Cowboys, you got the Ravens, and you end the season with like the Bills. It is going to be a tough sled for the Miami Dolphins, I like as well. They have a really high ceiling, but have a really low floor as well. So 10-7, I could get behind that as well, John. So John, I think you're pretty much spot on with these. So we will see. Jim says, I just landed in Detroit last night. Got my fill of the Lions jersey. I hope they're right. Jim, if you are in Detroit right now, send me a inbox here on Facebook, and I will give you some money, and I'll go ahead and buy a jersey right now. Not because I think the Chiefs are going to lose to the Lions. I like having NFL jerseys. So, Jim, hit me in my inbox right now. I will give you some money. Pick me up a jersey, man. Pick me up a jersey. F the Jets. Alan Lazard is overrated. Mile High is a tough place to breathe because of all the pot smoke up in there. No, it is. You going to run a poll pick this season? Yes, we are going to post the link today. When I start posting game picks, it'll be a little Google Docs link in there, and you can click on that, John. So it will be there for you guys moving forward. But let's go ahead and move on to the next topic of choice here. The LA Rams. They are a team that had basically sold their soul for a Super Bowl. Let's just be flat out honest. When they brought in Matthew Stafford, they're like, we are selling our soul to the devil to win one Super Bowl. And they did it. They had a great season. Cooper Kupp, triple crown year, 1,947 yards, 16 touchdowns, right? He was the man, the myth, the legend. But ever since then, Cooper Kupp has kind of been having these nagging hamstring lower body injuries. So as you guys know, he will be out week 1. He visited specialists in Minnesota this week about his hamstring lower body issues, and they're like, we don't know what's going on. Maybe you're just old. They didn't really say that. I'm definitely putting words in people's mouth right there. But as you guys know, he will miss week 1, like I just said. But if Cooper Kupp misses an extended period of time for the LA Rams, then what? Guys, those people out there in the media, experts, air quotes, experts, because, they got the 4-letter name or whatever. They say that the Rams are going to use Cooper Kupp as trade bait, Aaron Donald as trade bait, Matthew Stafford as trade bait come mid-season. So obviously, I feel like the Rams are kind of, this offseason, I was kind of like, man, the Rams have 30-plus rookies on their roster. They could be really, really hungry. They could actually surprise some people. I actually really wanted them to win like 8 or 9 games. Like, man, they have a pretty easy schedule. Let's just be honest. And I was like, man, they could win 7, 8, 9, 10 games possibly. But if Cooper Kupp misses an extended period of time, he is the meat and potatoes of the offense. Everything goes through Cooper Kupp. If he misses an extended period of time, the Rams will not win a single game without Cooper Kupp on the field. You can say what you want. The defense is really good. We got Aaron Donald. We still got Matthew Stafford. We got whatever, right? No. Cooper Kupp is the man, the myth, the legend for the LA Rams. If Cooper Kupp misses an extended period of time for the LA Rams, they're not going to win a damn game. Understand that. The Rams are going to be bad as is. And now your leading receiver is going to be out? Oh, my Lord. Rams, just take it in now. You guys are battling for the first overall pick. Get Matthew Stafford out of town. Get Aaron Donald out of town right now. Get something for this season before it totally implodes on you. Oh, God. I would hate to be an LA Rams fan right now. All of you 20 LA Ram fans out there right now, I feel sorry for you guys. Oh, man. LA Rams who? Who that? I don't know. John says Seattle wins that game 28-24. I don't think it's even going to be that close, John. I think Seattle's going to have a great, great season. I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the West. Even with Nick Bosa and the 49ers doing all their things, right? We're going to talk about them here in a little bit, but the Seattle Seahawks are doing good. They fixed all the holes from last season. John has 4 letters. LMAO. True. So John is our expert. John is now the resident man-hour expert. Anytime you see John in the chat from here on out, guys, refer to him as NFL expert John. Kevin says Rams can still beat the Cardinals without Kupp. Oh, man. Guys, the Cardinals are kind of in a catch-22, right? We talked about all those people that were out of practice yesterday. We had Hollywood Brown, Zach Ertz, who else was Rondell Moore, local Louisville native here. They had all of their people out. Josh Dobbs has been named starter. Like, damn. It's time to slow it down, baby. But for some reason, I have faith that the Cardinals will somehow, some way pull out 5 or 6 wins. I don't know how they'll do it or care how they do it, but I feel somehow they'll still get those 5, 6, 7 wins and still be like a 10th pick in the draft. Right? I have been right about the Cardinals a lot. And Arizona Cardinals fans still hate me for it to this day. One of the very first viral videos that we did here at youtube.com/manhour is when the Arizona Cardinals were 9-0 or 10-0, right? Super Bowl, baby. Let's go, Super Bowl. Ah! And then they got their asses whooped by the Green Bay Packers Thursday night. Green Bay Packers went to Lambeau West and whooped those Cardinals' asses. I'm like, hey, y'all suck. This is why. The cracks are there, and the Green Bay Packers exposed it. Moving on for the rest of the season, you guys didn't win 1 game for that rest of the season. Since then, the Cardinals fans have hated me. Hoffy's in the chat. He says Bucks high school team could beat the Cardinals. I don't know, man. We got 50-piece last Friday. I don't know, man. I don't know. Jim says made a connector flight last night back to the Ville around midnight, but the airport restaurant were high on this. Like they knew something the rest of us don't know. Didn't make sense. Probably because Travis Kelce was out. They're like, Travis Kelce. Yeah. NFL expert John says ROTFMLAO. I'm not for sure what that means. Rolling over table, fucking laughing my ass off. I don't know. What the fuck does that even mean? Buck is always right. Buck's world, we're just living it. Hoffy, the facts have finally been spoken. My man finally sees the light, and he knows that, man, I am always, always right. And speaking of being right, Nick Bosa agrees to a 5-year, $170 million deal. He is now the highest non-quarterback player in the NFL, making like $35 million a year. Making those dollar bills, yo. So, with this deal, there's going to be some types of consequences, right? There are going to be some type of consequences that we're kind of like, oh, man, right? Just like when the first $100 million quarterback started to roll out, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, we said, hey, you cannot afford to play a quarterback $100 million and expect to win. All those $100 million quarterbacks no longer on their team. They did not win. Yada, 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 right? So with that being said, with the Nick Bosa 5-year, $170 million years, like $129 million guaranteed. Man, that would be nice, right? If the 49ers do not win now, then what? So, guys, we talk about Super Bowl windows. We talked about the Buffalo Bills window closing. We've talked about the Chiefs windows closing. Talking about the Jaguars window opening a little bit. The San Francisco 49ers literally put a time limit on them to win a Super Bowl with this contract. They have some contracts that will be coming up and they're going to get paid. Deebo Samuel's going to get paid. Brandon Ayuk probably going to get paid. Armstrong or Armstead is probably going to get paid. They're going to have to pay those people. With that being said, the window for the Super Bowl for the San Francisco 49ers closed to 2-year stretch. They now have a 2-year stretch to win a Super Bowl, and that is it. Because of the simple fact of Brock Purdy has 2 years left on his contract after this season. And if Brock Purdy is the man, the myth, the legend that you all think he is, put him up on this pedestal, greatest thing since sliced freaking bread, greatest thing since rainbow bread, this man is going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. You can't pay him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL if you have Nick Bosa making $129 million guaranteed, $107 million for over 5 years. Guys, the 49ers literally just put an expiration tag on their team. 2 years to win a Super Bowl. Do it now, shit now, or get off the freaking pot. That is what the 49ers have done to themselves by this contract. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I taken away of how good Nick Bosa is. He is the best defensive lineman in the league. Better than Joey Bosa, better than TJ Watt, better than Chris Jones, better than Aaron Donald, better than Von Miller. He is the best defensive front player in the NFL. He deserves this type of money. I get it. But when you pay a player like this, 5 years, $170 million, you put an expiration tag on your team. It is what it is. Now, maybe some way, somehow, they can convert that into signing bonus or bonus pay or whatever. However they do to manipulate the cap, whatever they do. I don't know all the ins and outs of the salary cap. I'm no expert like John is here. But they're going to have to figure it out real freaking quick. Guys, let me know. Do you think the 49ers Super Bowl window has officially been from here? Now it's like right here. Hey, we had a nice 5-year stretch that we could probably do some work. Now it's win now or we freaking suck. They need to figure it out right now or something is going to go very, very wrong for them ASAP. Rolling on the floor is what ROTF means, apparently. Hashtag old man Hoffy. Good for Nick, says David. He is a badass. Yes. Nick Bosa is the best defensive end in the entire NFL. Guys, give me somebody better. You can probably take Joey Bosa and TJ Watt and wrap them together and like put them together, maybe make one ACL. And I still think Nick is better. I still think Nick is better. No injury clause. Is there any by chance he's injured by week 4? You know, I do not. I obviously I did not read the ins and outs of the contract by any means. I saw what they signed for. I saw it all on Twitter. Like Adam Schefter posted it, right? 5 years, $129 million guaranteed. I'm sure there's some type of clause in there. But the $129 million guaranteed, that's guaranteed money. No matter if I get hurt, no matter if I play one snap for the rest of my 5-year career, I'm getting the $129 million. So they're in salary cap hell for the next 5 years, unfortunately. Rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off. Hashtag old man. Screw you guys. Screw each and every one of you in the chat. How can you be talking that shit and you don't even know what is going on? It is what it is. But guys, that is it for If and Then here. But it is time to spit some facts. So I've been trolling the old Facebook page, as I do a lot of the time, right? I put up some stats of Dak Prescott versus Ben Roethlisberger, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady. People are very, very pissed off about that, by the way. You want to piss people off? You do two things. You make the best damn power rankings out there, even though Kevin doesn't agree with them because his Buffalo Bills aren't up there. My bad. They suck. But then you talk bad about Tom Brady. Every time you speak facts about Tom Brady, people want to bring up, 7 rings. Right? Everything for Tom Brady fans is all about the number of rings on this guy's hand. Number of rings. He is the greatest because he has 7 rings. He is the greatest because he does this, this, and this. Guys, understand this. Hoffy, this is directly towards you, my man. Your Patriots hatred or fandom is going to get put to the test right here, right now. As Tom Brady is a very, very good quarterback. He managed the game very, very well. But let's just be flat out honest, guys. Tom Brady was carried to each and every one of his Super Bowls. Tom Brady was carried by a great defense, carried by a great kicker, carried by a great coach. Tom Brady is not undefeated in the Super Bowl. Tom Brady played for what, 20 plus years, right? If he's so damn good with the greatest coach of all time, why is he not 20-0 in the Super Bowl? Because he was carried. He was carried to all of his Super Bowls. All of them in New England. He was carried by controversy. He was carried by a great defense. He was carried by a very game-managing coach that knew his strength, knew his weaknesses, knew how to put him in the right position each and every time. He was carried by the tuck rule, snow rule, whatever you want. Tom Brady was carried. And then they're like, what about Tampa Bay? He won a Super Bowl in Tampa Bay. He didn't have carried a team there. Yes, he was carried there as well. He was carried there with a great offensive line. Ryan Zenson, one of the best centers at that particular time in 2020, led a great offensive line. Their defense was very, very good with Bunting Hill or whatever the guy's name is, right? Very, very good defense. Didn't forget about all those great receivers he had. Godwin, Scotty Miller, Gronk came back. Mike Evans. He was carried to that team. Like, the Bucs didn't have a Super Bowl team then, but they did. They were literally a quarterback away. Literally a quarterback away. Yes, Tom Brady was that quarterback. Everything fell in the right spot for them. But if he's so great, why didn't he go to Houston to win? Why didn't he go to Jaguars and win? Guys, stop measuring Tom Brady off of Super Bowl rings. There are many, many quarterbacks in the NFL that are better than Tom Brady without Super Bowl rings. Dak Prescott, better than Tom Brady. Stats don't lie. First 7 seasons, better than Tom Brady. How about Jake the Snake Plummer? You all forget about that man from the Arizona Cardinals? Don't be sleeping on Jake the Snake. How about Randall Cunningham? Jim Kelly. Dan freaking Marino. Even one further. I'll give you one more for the road here. Warren Moon. Guys, not all great quarterbacks win Super Bowl rings. Not all great quarterbacks are going to have that hardware on their hands. So stop using a comparison measuring stick for quarterbacks for Super Bowl rings. Are you telling me that Eli Manning is better than Dak Prescott because he has 2 Super Bowl rings? That's that. That is what I thought. That is what I thought. Kevin says your power rankings weren't trash just because the Bills weren't up there. My power rankings were spot on, Kevin. Sorry to burst your bubble, man. They were spot on. I thought all Patriots fans migrated to Tampa when Brady left. Majority of them did, Kevin. Spot on there. Spot on. Don't forget the Patriots cheated multiple times. Allegedly cheated. Allegedly cheated. We can't put cheated up there. Allegedly. He wins games, period. But that was a fumble. Hashtag Tuck rule. Does Tom Brady really win games, though? Defense wins him a lot of games. He manages not losing the game really well. I can't remember exactly how many game-winning drives he has, but I think Dak Prescott has more. I'm just being sarcastic, guys. Warren Moon was great. And Kevin thinks Marino is the GOAT. Hey, Kevin, I agree with you. I think Dan Marino had a great NFL career. Hall of Fame career, right? He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. Don't get that twisted. But he don't got no rings, so you can't put him up there. Did we forget about Joe Montana? Mr. Undefeated in the Super Bowl himself? That is the whole LeBron versus Jordan debate, right? LeBron only has this many things, whatever. Expert John in the chat. One last chat before we go here. It says PF makes the F sound. Thank you, NFL expert John. Appreciate it, guys. Join in the game tonight, guys. Lions versus Chiefs. Go Chiefs. I will be looking for a Detroit Lions jersey if they do win. Let me know, guys, tomorrow what jersey you want me to get if the Lions do win. But with that being said, guys, we out. Live, raw, uncut sports talk. See you tomorrow, 10 a.m. East Coast time, right here on said platform. Have a great day.